Today we're going to look at Magic the Gathering cards actually controlled by your opponent. And the first question, Liquid Soulfly asked, does Browbeat count? You better believe it counts, because for 3 mana, it's a sorcery. Any player, including your opponents, may have Browbeat deal 5 damage to him or her. If no one does, target player draws 3 cards. And I think the target player is supposed to be yourself. But the problem is, are you actually going to draw 3 cards? May I draw 3 cards? You just, basically, you punch yourself in the face and you say no. I'll take 5 damage instead. So the rules are, any card, maybe on the battlefield, the opponent can activate the ability, or they have a massive influence over how it resolves. Like Bolkey's Choice of Damnations. Choice of Damnations is a black 5 generic sorcery. Target opponent chooses a number. Pick a number between 1 and 100. You may have that player lose that much life. However, if you don't, that player sacrifices all but that many permanents. That's a lot of well, I guess I could choose. So the deal is, I could lose like 2 life, or I could have all but 2 permanents. You know what? If I were the person, I'd just count everything I have in play, and I'd say, you know what? That's it. I'll just sack the rest of the life. I'm good with the life. You're not going to take away any of my permanents. Or I guess I could let you take a land. I don't know. Let you take a land away from me. Henrik with the Consuming Tide. We got a blue 2 generic sorcery. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hand. Then you draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Hold on, you can return everything? Hold on, each player chooses a non-land. Oh, they choose 1. Then you return all non-land. All the rest gets bounced to their hands. So they have like a little bit of influence. You keep only 1. That's it. Keep your favorite toy. The rest of them are going to the thrift store. Say goodbye to all of them. You're too old for those toys now. Gown Blues, would land tax count? I don't think so. Because if my technically opponents control the effect, you know what? Maybe it does. I'm gonna allow it. White enchantment, at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you may search your library for up to 3 cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. You know what? Absolutely, this thing should count. Because yes, your opponents, if they don't play ball, if they ain't putting the extra lands in play, your land tax do nothing. It taxes you too. They get taxed, you get taxed. What does land tax have anything to do with this ability? No one's getting taxed. If anything, you're just getting more land. This is like land stealing, if you ask me. Anyway, Alpha Prime with the Capricopian, whatever that is. Apparently it's Goat Hydra. What the hell? All right, we got a green X 0/0. Capricopian enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. You pay 2, put a counter on Capricopian. Then you may reselect which player Capricopian is attacking. Only the player Capricopian is attacking may activate this ability, and only during the declare attacker step. So I can put the counter on the Capricopian, then reselect. Oh, I get it. It's like one of those viral memes where, hey, you want to double it and send it to the next player, you know, like and pass it along. You want to double the counters, pay it forward, or in this case, put 1 counter, pay it forward. I put a counter on it, attack someone else. All right, I put a counter on it, you attack someone else. No. I'll put a counter on it, you attack someone else. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. At some point, it's got to smash face somewhere. So hold on, what if then you may reselect which player? Oh, but you can reselect the same player over again. So I attack player A, then attack player B. Then player B says, no, you're going to re-attack player A all over again. Weird card. Platonic Liquid with the super chat. You can choose favorite card. Not really. Vexing Devil. Yeah, 1 red, 4/3. It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a 4/3 devil. When it enters the battlefield, an opponent may have it deal 4 damage to them. Yeah, that's good. It's a lot of damage. If the player does, you have to sacrifice the Vexing Devil. So the question is, do you want to deal with a 4/3 creature that will beat you down for 4 damage every single turn, or would you rather just take 4 damage once and be done with it? Also, there's also the possibility they'll just let it resolve, and then they just kill it with a removal spell, and just 1 bolt and it's dead. It dies to everything as far as I'm concerned, except shock, I guess. Except the shock. Ooh, that's a classic Tasigur. That is a super classic card. Banana Man. Where's the Banana Man? This is like some sort of Kinky Whip version of Tasigur. He's known as the Banana Man for a reason. Very pale, very low on vitamins. All the vitamins are here. Not really doing a whole lot for him. Maybe he needs a little bit of sunlight. All right, it's a 4/5 with Delve. And you can pay a hybrid of Simic, 2 generic. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then return a non-land card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. So the deal is, if your graveyard is empty, hopefully because of the Delve, you exiled 5 cards, you can sculpt more or less what you're gonna get from the graveyard back to your hand, or at least give yourself the best chance. Otherwise, your opponent's going to give you, like, whatever they want. Return a non-land card, so I could give you, like, a crappy artifact, I could give you a crappy creature, give you a removal spell that doesn't actually target anything on the board. I'll give you a removal spell, because I'm a combo player. It's useless. Ah, the good old Tasigur. Alright, next up we got Xavier with Hostile Negotiations. Does it count? Probably it does. We like a little negotiating around here, huh? Hostile negotiations. Okay, we have a black 3 generic instant. Exile the top 3 cards of your library in a face-down pile. Then exile the top 3 cards of your library in another face-down pile. Look at the cards in each pile. Then turn a pile of your choice face up. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. You lose 3 life. What an interesting sort of factor fiction-ish card. Like, look at two piles. Which one is the real pile? Maybe I'll turn up the good pile face up because I don't want you to know what the bad stuff is in there. Interesting. Very interesting. I love it. And definitely counts. This definitely qualifies. It sounds like a very good mind game-like card. It's going to make people feel like they're on a game show and the pressure is on. Worse yet, if you turn up a pile that is straight up it danger, you probably feel screwed because the bottom pile is even worse. Okay, we got some from you, Abzo. Galatzen, a risk factor. Let's go look at risk factor. Same thing as Browbeat, right? Very Browbeat-like card, 3 mana. Target opponent may have risk factor deal 4 damage to them. If the player doesn't, you draw 3 cards. You'll be in, it's like Ancestral Recall, and it's an instant speed card. But here's the deal. It's got Jumpstart. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other cost, then exile this card. So you get 2 copies of it. So if you didn't let me draw the 3 cards the first time, maybe I will the second time, because you only got hit for 4 in the face. Maybe you already got hit 4 in the face. Christopher B with the Lightning Storm. That is an incredible... This is one of the weirdest cards in all of Magic, because it's an activated ability on the stack. It's a 3 mana instant, deals X damage to a creature or player, where X is 3 plus the number of charge counters on it. So while it's on the stack, that's when you can activate its ability. I don't know how many cards out there have activated abilities on the stack. This is, like, as far as I know, this is the only one. Discard a land, put 2 charge counters on Lightning Storm. You may choose a new target for it. Any player may play this ability, but only if Lightning Storm is on the stack. So if the Lightning Storm is on the stack, you try to hit someone for 12, you yourself can, like, discard a land and say, no, 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 it's going straight back at you, buddy. But then they can do the same thing back. Make sure you have more lands in your hand than your opponents. Hoard your lands with land tax. Land tax and Lightning Storm. Unlikely combos on shows that don't deserve them. Sand King. How about Magister of Worth? The Magister. 6 mana, 4/4 Angel It's got flying, pretty staple of the Angels. The will of the console, when Magister of Worth enters the battlefield, starting with you, each player votes for Grace or Condemnation. If Grace gets more votes, each player returns a creature card from their graveyard to the battlefield. If Condemnation gets more votes, or the vote is tied, destroy all creatures other than Magister of Worth. I'll allow it. Okay, I'll just say this. In Commander, your opponents have more influence than you do, because they outvote you. But in one-on-one, this would not count, but we'll count it for the multiplayer action. And so just same thing. We'll go with Expropriate. One of the most hated cards in Commander. Because for 9 mana, you've got Council's Dilemma. Starting with you, vote for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. Actually, this fits perfectly the control over the opponent. So no matter what, you're going to get something based on how your opponents vote. Great card for the show. Toilet Duck. Endbringer's Revel? I didn't know Endbringer had another card. This is an old card. Isn't there a card called Endbringer? It's an Eldrazi. They didn't know what Eldrazi's were in Prophecy. That's a huge, I don't know, storyline break or something. Anyway, okay, 3-mana enchantment, pay 4. Return target creature card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. Any player may play this ability, but only any time they could play a sorcery. Definitely checks out. Neat card. Joshua! How about Jinxed Choker? Or Chalker? Jinxed. No, it's a Chalker. The hell is a Chalker? And it's Jinxed. No, it is a Choker. It's literally a Choker. Alright, 3-mana artifact. At the end of your turn, target opponent gains control of Jinxed Choker and puts a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinxed Choker deals damage to you equal to the number of charge counters on it. Pay 3, put a charge counter on Jinxed Choker or remove it. Hold on, at the end of your turn, target opponent gains control. No, this doesn't count! Because you give it to them. I guess, in some world, just when it's cast, or it's on the battle, at the end of your turn, target opponent gains controls. You know what? I'll allow it. Yeah, you give it to them. We're gonna allow it. At the end of the day, you have to give it to them. They are gonna control the thing. And as the title says, MTG cards actually controlled by your opponent. Of course, no one wants this damn thing. Okay, we're gonna allow it. Yeah, also, yeah, don't forget to vote deeply. Where's Abzos? Vote deeply. Okay, Turiat with Combustible Gearhulk. Combustible? 6 mana for a 6/6 construct. First strike. Enters the battlefield. Target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. 3 cards. This is just browbeat on a 6/6 Titan. That's... Okay, then Combustible Gearhulk deals damage to that player equal to the total mana value of those cards. Oh my goodness! What the hell is going on here? Target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. So, okay, so you either draw the 3 cards or you mill the 3 cards. Could be more Gearhulks. Get out of the Gearhulk's way. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be bad news. It's going to danger. Blue Bomber. Browbeat. We did Browbeat. We're going to donate your super chat, Blue Bomber, to Yo Little Ted and Abzo for intuition. Yeah, everyone throwing out them cards. What's it called? The Gifts Ungiving of Commander. Because Gifts Ungiving is banned. Blue 2 generic instant, search your library for 3 cards and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 1 of them. Put that card into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library. Very Gifts Ungiven like in Commander. Not so much Gifts Ungiven like in Legacy. Because you'll just choose 3 cards that are identical. Not much of a decision there. Oh! Will Anderson with the Standstill. I like that one. Reprint in Modern Wit. I don't know. They could have done it last time. This is a perfectly harmless card. Blue 1 generic enchantment. Whenever a player plays a spell, sacrifice Standstill. If you do, each of that player's opponents draws 3 cards. So who wants to blink first, huh? So I will just say, like, this one's sort of controlled by the opponent because the opponents have a massive amount of influence over if this, like, even triggers at all. Although I have to say, You, the standstill player, could be the one playing the cards first. It's possible. J! The Sleeper Agent. Sleeper. We got a black 3/3. That's a huge creature for 1 mana. It's a minion. Okay, so what's the downside? When Sleeper Agent comes into play, target opponent gains control of it. Okay, that's a problem. At the beginning of your upkeep, Sleeper Agent deals 2 damage to you. So it's like, that is weird. You give someone a wild Nikachu, but it like sulfuric vortexes them every single turn. Is that fair? That's probably not good for you. They're dealing more damage to you than you are to them. Anyway. King Ginger, Crown of Doom. And we got the 3-mana artifact. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So pay 2, target player other than Crown of Doom's owner gains control of it. Activate this ability only during your turn. So everyone gets to swipe this damn thing. It's everyone's Crown of Doom. It's the village's Crown of Doom. Everyone takes a turn around it. The next super chat from Owen Keith, Humble Defector. Very humble. Defect from where? Red, 1 generic, 2/1 human rogue. Tap, draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of Humble Defector. Activate only during your turn. That's actually interesting. So you can tap it. This is really awkward card advantage. So you tap it, you draw the 2 cards, you give it to somebody, then you could kill it. But then you like lost 2 cards. You lost the humble defector, and you had to just burn a removal spell on the damn thing. What an awkward one. A blackbird, Tasha. I swear you name Tasha every show if you can. Tasha, Unholy Archmage. This card's fake. It's one of them alchemy cards. We have a black, blue, 2 generic, 4 loyalty Tasha. Okay, so you said the -2. -2, target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature gains ward. Yep, that counts. That checks out. Feedy Fox, dash hopes. Is this the lose 5 life or something? Either you dash their hopes or they dash yours. Black instant. Oh, it's the black counter spell. When you play Dash Hopes, any player may pay 5 life. If they do, counter Dash Hopes. Otherwise, counter target spell. One way or another, something's getting countered around here. It's either my thing or yours. Robert! Capricopian. We did Capricopian, Robert. We're going to donate your super chat to Avatar of Woe with the monkey paw. Come on, there's a lot of cards influenced by your opponents, people. Monkey paw? Is that real? Sorry, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a monkey paw in this game. We'll give it to... Ashen hasn't gotten one yet. Chaos Lord. The Lord of Chaos. What is it? Okay, hold on. Just in case. I don't want to risk it. I'm going to look at the Oracle text here. It's got first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of Chaos Lord if the number of permanents is even. And also, Chaos Lord can attack as though it had haste unless it entered the battlefield this turn. So hold on. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of Chaos Lord if the number of permanents is even. What the hell does that even mean? So, like, if all permanents on the entire battlefield is, or like everywhere between all players is even, I gotta give this to somebody else? Weird. Okay, it sort of checks out. I'll barely allow it. Okay, what do we got next? What's our next super chat? We got the Blue Bomber with fact or fiction. The original. This is. Oh, is there a lot of fact or fiction cards? How do I not look up fact? Oh. I'm just gonna look up fiction. If I put or, they just, yeah, there we go. There's only one card with the word fiction in the entire game. All right, so this is one of them cards. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Do you know what I need, opponent? Do I need lands? Do I need creatures? Am I looking for more instants and sorceries? What are you afraid of? Are you going to split it up into 2 piles, or are you going to put all the lands into one, all the spells in the other? Can you read my mind? Great card. I love this card. I think it's a great mind game card and also great graveyard synergy. You look, I mean, the cards go in your hand, the rest of them go into the graveyard. You just dump them in there. Queen of the Night, the Sauron's Ransom. I don't know how to spell ransom, damn it. There we go. Okay, black, blue, one generic instant. Choose an opponent. They look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Another fact or fiction. Put one of the piles into your hand and the other into your graveyard. The ring tempts you. The top 4 cards. And they separate. That's even more interesting. Do you want the face-up pile or do you want the face... Do you want the guaranteed $100 or do you want what's underneath this pile over here? Could be anything. It could be even a boat. I like these cards. I didn't know this existed. It makes me real. I gotta look at this whole Lord of the Rings set. It's the lesser form of truth or tale. It feels like Deal or No Deal. Like, okay, you can have that, you can walk away with that thing, like that briefcase of money, or you can keep pushing it. Do you want to take the deal from the guy in the office up there, who seems very anonymous? Oh, that was a donate to the chat, not the card. Where? Oh, okay, you're talking about the... Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay, let's go with Tommy Siddon's Allure of the Unknown. We got a red-black 3 generic sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So you get what? You get, the opponent gets one thing. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. And then you put the rest in. You draw 5 cards for 5 mana. And they get 1 card out of it for free. Interesting. I'm just thinking, this card seems busted. 5 cards for 5. You sort of tap out for the turn, though. Don't worry, the rest of the table will deal with them. They'll deal with it. King Ginger. How do you pronounce this? Zancha. Sleeper agent. Sounds like some sort of medication for, I don't know, the elderly. Probably to help you get to sleep. The sleeper agent. Okay, red, black, 1 generic for a 5/5 Phyrexian minion. Zancha. Ask your doctor if Zancha is right for you. Sleeper agent enters the battlefield under your control. Of an opponent of your choice, Zancha attacks each combat if able and can't attack its owner or planeswalker. Can't attack its owner or planeswalker as its owner. Okay, there's a controller and there's an owner. You can't attack the owner. Okay, pay 3. Zancha's controller loses 2 life and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability. So hold on, you want to get... This is a weird card. Yeah, side effects may include loss of life, players activating abilities on you, and drawing cards on you. Funny card. Okay, what do we got now? We gotta get to a freebie around here. Christopher B, they are the best character ever. Urza not worthy of centuries of companionship. What is this? Centuries of Is that a card? Didn't spell that correctly. Okay, I thought you were giving me a name here of a card here. Centuries of something. Nope, doesn't exist. Stranger Candy, measure 10th time is the charm. Measure of wickedness, Stranger Candy. We've got a lot of these cards are these are mostly black cards where they give your opponents a choice. And blue, it seems to be within their color pie. And red. Feels very Grixis, very Grixis-y today. It's a Grixis Christmas. All right, we got a black 3 generic enchantment at the beginning. Sorry, at the end of your turn, sacrifice Measure of Wickedness and you lose 8 life. Whenever another card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, target opponent gains control of Measure of Wickedness. At the end of turn, sacrifice Measure of Wickedness and you lose 8 life. I don't understand how they get it. Whenever another card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, target opponent gains control of Measure of Wickedness. Is this like some sort of hot potato? So you play this and you cast a card, or anyone can cast a card, and they keep moving the Measure of Wickedness around until the end of turn. I guess, yeah, that's how it is. It's a hot potato. Need a white card, fight or flight. What we had so far was land tax. Another one of these ore cards. I'm just going to put fight, flight. Scryfall's smart enough. There we go. 4-mana enchantment. At the beginning of each opponent's combat step, separate all creatures that player controls into 2 face-up piles. Only creatures in the pile of his or her choice may attack this turn. It's like the white it's like, I don't know. This is a crappy card. They should have made a Wrath of God like this. And it would probably... Oh, but it's an enchantment. It stays here for forever. So at the beginning of each opponent's combat phase, separate all creatures that player controls into 2 face-up piles. Actually, I don't know if this counts. We don't actually see each opponent's... Do I separate them? Only creatures. Yeah, I think I separate them, so this don't count. If the opponent separated them, I think it counts. Okay, Toad's trying to get wrong turn on here. Wrong turn, blue 2 generic. Target opponent gains control of target creature. Doesn't count, because they don't control this card. See, this not the opponent doesn't actually control this thing, so this actually doesn't count. They're going to control the thing that you targeted, but they don't actually control or have any influence over wrong turn or donate or any of those types of effects. Okay, just try to get the sleep ragent up there, but the sleep ragent was already done. So we will donate your super chat to... do we do gifts ungiven? That seems like a... Everyone knows gifts ungiven. Ah, what the hell? Gifts ungiven. Do you not know how this card works? Some people might not because it's banned and they never see it. Blue 3 generic instant. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names. Reveal them. Target opponent puts 2 of those cards in... target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, then shuffle. The trick is you only look for 2 cards, not 4. And those 2 cards have to go to the graveyard. And one of those cards usually is Past in Flames and you doomed. Okay, we got Jory Bars. Anything with tribute. That's true, but you gotta name me a card here. I don't know all these cards. We'll go with Jacob. The Slicer. Slicer hired muscle. Slices and dices. It's a robot with a gun. This is a gun! How many guns are actually in the game of Magic the Gathering? I think this is one of the few ones. They didn't even depict guns, I think, on Capenna, which is weird. Okay, we have a red 4 generic 3/4 robot. More than meets the eye for 3 mana. Double strike and haste. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do, untap Slicer, goad it, and it can't be sacrificed this turn. If you don't convert it. So someone else gets it, and they don't come after you. Is this real? It's a real card. I know. Every single time I see one of these Transformer cards, I feel like this is an AI. Like, this is either AI generated, this is a custom card, this doesn't look real. There's a lot of these, what's it called? Universes Beyond cards that look like Magic cards. This one doesn't. Not Magic looking at all. F this commander. Tommy has some history with this card. Silver Sun Games with the Lethal Vapors. Lethal, aren't they? Okay, we got black 2 generic enchantment. Whenever a creature comes into play, destroy it. Pay 0, destroy Lethal Vapors. You may skip your next turn. Any player may play this ability. Oh my god, the cost. It's so little, yet it's so high. It's like a riddle. The vapors infiltrate every crevice, poison every lung, and snuff out every life. Okay, who wants to skip their turn? Whenever a creature comes into... Otherwise, no one's gonna get any more creatures. The creature deck out there is like, all right, I guess sacrifices need to be made. The sacrifice for everybody. All right, we're gonna look at more cards actually controlled by your opponent. We gotta thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. Lost Caverns of Ixalan is coming out around the corner. And if you need to get MTG singles in addition to pre-ordering ones that are coming out. Actually, this is like announced really early. I think Lost Caverns of Ixalan is coming out like November. I get all my singles from FusionGamingOnline.com. And if you want to be like Nikachu, you'll do it too. And you also use coupon code Nikachu, which I also use. I get to use my own coupon code to get 5% off all my purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. So that when a new set comes out and a new archetype breaks open, is it the real deal or is it just the fluff of the week? You can find out for yourself when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_XQJ. And now back to something lethal. The Lethal Vapors. Lethal Vapors plus you lose the game next turn cards equals you don't lose the game if that turn is skipped? I don't know. That's a good question. This is a question that needs some sort of answer. You lose the game next turn. Usually, doesn't it say you like lose the game at end of turn, so you're not even going to get to the next turn? Toilet Duck is correct. Or does it always look for the next turn that you actually play? Avatar, whoa, do you really want an answer? Garrison Starm prior to the 2024 Universes Beyond spoilers is one of the only ones. I have no idea what that was in response to, but for anyone on the replay, maybe they'll know. Yeah, interesting question. Judge! We need a judge here. How does the extra turn cards work? Damn it. Okay, Christopher B. Guided Passage. No, does this... I don't think the opponents control this card. Oh, I was thinking of something else. There's a land called Guided Passage something. Similar name. Red, blue, green, sorcery. Reveal the cards in your library. What, all of them? An opponent chooses from among them a creature card, a land card, and a non-creature, non-land card. You put the chosen cards into your hand, then shuffle. That is insane value. Oh no, but you know, okay, I'm wrong. They can put like a basic land, the crappiest creature, the crappiest artifact, and like a useless instant in your hand. But it's okay, so I take it back. This card is not as busted as I thought it was. It's okay. It's okay. It's technically carded. If you need just random crap in your hand, Guide Passage is the card for you. I take this card out of my deck because my opponent doesn't really know my deck, so it takes eternity. Oh yeah, that's another downside. It's like, okay, Guided Passage, and they're reading through every damn card in your deck. That's like 99 cards I have to read through. Or maybe like 66-ish because of mana bases and stuff. Oh, Silver Sun Games. You can actually activate Lethal Vapors in an infinite amount of times and cast a Fairy's Protection to phase out until your next turn, which never comes and your opponents mill out. Wow! That is insane. That is a mind-blowing combo. Oh my... Silver! Bring that up in the next bad combos that actually work. That is unbelievable. I love that. You take an unlimited number of turns, but they can still kill you, right? I think they can. Oh no, Teferi's Protection. They can't. Oh, they can't kill you. That's incredible. I like it. Cool card, or cool combo. And then Bulky's like, Guided Passage is amazing if you have a deck with just one creature that you want to draw. There you go. That's big brain. I have one creature. So I need to draw that creature or the Guided Passage or I'm screwed. Okay, we got Xavier with Library of Latin. Okay, the Library. 5 mana sorcery. Target opponent chooses 1. You draw 3 cards at the beginning of your upkeep. Next turn, at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. That's a lot of cards. What? Oh, but it's 5 mana, whatever. Or search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, and then shuffle your library. So it's either a tutor. That's a very expensive tutor. I think I would just have that thing. Like, okay, you want a tutor for 1 specific card, go for it. Actually, I don't know what I would do for my opponent. Maybe I give them 3 random cards. What are the odds you're going to draw at least 2 lands and 1 other random nonsense? The odds are good, in my opinion. The odds are good. If it's a commander, you can still take commander damage. Oh, okay, that's true. True story. Or actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't know the commander rules well enough. Your life total can't change, but your opponents can still mill you out. No, they can't. Yeah, they have to make you draw. They would have to make you draw. In reference to that old combo. Okay, Octrox. Gotta love Temporal Extortion. We got a black. Temporal Extortion, sorcery. When you play Temporal Extortion, any player may pay half of his or her life. Rounded up. It's a price that maybe they are willing to pay. If a player does, counter Temporal Extortion. Oh my god. Take an extra turn after this one. That is so much life. That's crazy. Okay, so this is, like, they have... Is there not Time Warp? No, Time Warp is 5 mana. Could have swore there's a 4 mana time... No, I guess there is no 4 mana Time Walk. Alright, so if they want Time Walk or Time Warp for 4 mana, it could be countered for the low price of half your life total. Who's taking 20? Or maybe they get someone like gained a bunch of life with their vampire deck. They went to 70. They can afford to pay 35. I am not talking about a game that I had this weekend. No, I'm not. Interesting card. All right, Jory Bars. Any creature's tribute ability depends on the opponent. Oh. True. If you're at 2, it only costs... Well, yeah, that's it. So don't play this when someone's on, like, the brink of death. Otherwise, it will do nothing. Welcome to the stream, Wes. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I want to get... Okay, we'll get Plarg. How many of you are... Christopher B. Trying really hard today. Okay, we have a red 3 generic 5/4 Orca Free. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. What? An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying its mana. Okay. Or do they have any influence? I don't get it. Each player exiles top card until they exile a non-land card. Okay, they hit the non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. They have no choice, though. I don't get it. You have to keep flipping till you hit a non-land card. So you've hit the non-land card, and then that's it. And then you have... I don't think this counts. Not the way I'm interpreting it. Okay, let's move on to back to the super chats. We got King Ginger. King Ginger is in fact in the house with Atris, Oracle of Half Truths. 4 mana, 3/2 Human Advisor with a Menace. When Atris, Oracle of Half Truths enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put one of the piles into your hand and the other into your graveyard. I'm just like, I didn't even know this is a mechanic. I didn't expect this mechanic to even show up on the show whatsoever, and now we see there's like 1 billion of these cards. Oh, they seal your choices? You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying... I don't get it. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. Up to 2 spells from among the... Oh, okay. You know what? It does count. Okay. So let's say there's 3 people... They can choose one that you don't get to choose, and then you choose the 2 others. Okay, I understand. So you people in the comment section, I got it, okay? Some people are like, Nikachu doesn't understand. He's not reading the cards properly. Okay, I read it. I read it, I didn't understand, I read it again. Reading the card twice explains the card. Anyway, this is a cool card. I like this effect, this is pretty neat. And Ikaya loves the Atris. Loves it. Risky move. I don't know this. I didn't know this existed. So wait, you're gonna play this Atris card now? Found a new commander for you. Okay, Sand King with Corona, False God. Really? The opponents can control this thing? Okay, we have a green, red, black, blue, white. It's a Wooburg card. And 1 generic for a 5/5 hasty legendary avatar. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps Corona False God and gains control of it. And whenever Corona attacks, creatures of the type of your choice get +3/+3 until end of turn. Interesting. Everyone gets to pass around the Corona. The False God. Yeah, the Corona gets around. It does. Where's the... Oh, the Nullhide Ferox from iDucky. I love the avatar. Nullhide Ferox. This is a big 4-mana green creature. So it's 4 mana, 6/6 hexproof. You can't cast non-creature spells. Pay 2. Nullhide Ferox loses all abilities until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. And if a player or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Nullhide Ferox, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. You listening, Thoughtseize players? This is the only card in my hand. You screwed. You activated my trap card. Avatar always says, the professor always says, reading the card explains the card, except when it doesn't. Which happens when there's a lot of errata on old cards. Okay, next super chat from King Ginger. We got the animal magnetism. 5 mana sorcery. I like the art on this one. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent chooses a creature card from among them. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest into your graveyard. That is absolutely disgusting. So if you can stack your deck properly, that there's only a busted creature in the top 5 cards of your library, you're golden. Combo with blue cards. The blue card combo. You mistakenly Thoughtseize the Nullhide Ferox once? Did you read the card? You probably read as far as hexproof and 6/6 and like, we can't have that. That's not possible. And they went straight to the battlefield. What the hell is that? Wait, downshift to uncommon? Was this a rare? It was a rare in Onslaught. I didn't even know this is an Onslaught card. Carrick Bend with Extract Brain. Sounds like a zombie card. Black, blue, Axe Sorcery. Target opponent chooses X cards from their hand. Look at those cards. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. So, I mean, as long as X is not the entire sum of their hands, yes, the opponent will have a lot of influence over you. Platonic Liquid. Master of Ceremonies is always fun. Master of Ceremonies. White 3 generic. Rhino. It's a 3/4 Rhino. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent chooses money, friends, or secrets. I didn't know those were the 3 most important things to choose. Money or friends. Or secrets. For each player who chose money, you and that player create a treasure token. For each player who chose friends, you and that player create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. And for each player who chose secrets, you and that player each draw a card. Neat. Secrets draws cards. I guess money wouldn't do that. Money can't buy cards, apparently. Only cards can buy cards. Yeah, more money, more problems. Okay, Sum 124C with the Preacher. It's funny, the page loaded, but the card didn't. There we go. The Preacher! A white 1 generic. This is like that guy that asks for money on television. You may choose not to untap Preacher during your untap step. Tap, gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice that they control as long as Preacher remains tapped. I tap, I gain something of yours. Send me your first newborn. Money over everything. Money. Risky Move in an old Risky Move is an old school card? Oh. Oh, it literally is a card. It's not that old school. I mean, I guess it's pretty old. It's got the old border on it, for crying out loud. Red, 3 generic enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of the Risky Move. When you gain control of risky move from another player, choose a creature you control and an opponent. Flip a coin. If you lose the flip, you gotta be flipping coins around here. If you lose the flip, that opponent gains control of that creature. Oh god, that is a risky move. It's just that this is Onslaught. This is like, I don't know, the later half of the old school era. You know, I feel like old school is like, I don't know, 2000 and before. I just got to experience the old school era for like a few years. Blue Bomber! Karn the Betrayer? Like literally, is it KH? This isn't the Karn we all know and love. This is a different Karn. It is a different Karn. Okay, we have a red 3 generic 5/1. Astartes Berserker. Berserker! Karn the Betrayer attacks or blocks each combat if able. Sigil of Corruption. When you lose control of Karn the Betrayer, draw 2 cards. You're going to lose control? The Betrayer. If damage would be dealt to Karn the Betrayer, prevent that damage and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. That is weird. So if it just gets dealt damage by anything, I get to choose who controls this card? Shouldn't it be the person who, like, damaged the Karn? Like, you work for us now, alright? I showed you who Daddy was. You got dealt damage. You work for me. Karn is a Warhammer character. Who stole what from who? Somebody stole something. Karn isn't exactly the most common name out there. I mean, you're not going to name your baby Karn, are you? Or has anyone named their baby Karn? Everyone I know has named their babies Jace, Liliana, Chandra. What else is super common? Those 3, at the very least. And you probably all know somebody who named their child after, like, one of those planeswalkers. Yeah, exactly, Jace. Yo, little Ted with the Amulet of Quaz. How does this stupid card keep ending up on the show every time? Okay, we have a 6-mana artifact. Remove it from your deck before playing if you are not playing for ante. Pay 0, tap, sacrifice Amulet of Quaz, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails. Well, coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, that opponent loses the game. Otherwise, you lose the game. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to prevent this loss of life. Use this ability only during your upkeep. The opponent may ante an additional card to counter this effect. You know, I don't want these ante cards on this show. Yeah, oh god, this card. So technically, yes, your opponent has influence over this card, but, like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. This is gambling cards. Okay, we got Ikaya again. Sleeper agent or donate to chat if already done. It was absolutely already done. You hear that, everyone? You're gonna get donated a super chat. Okay, who's, let's see, who didn't get anything yet? Did we do Misfortune? I don't think Joe got a card. Nope, we did not do Misfortune. All right, we got a Jund 1 generic. What is she, in outer space or something? Sorcery. Target opponent chooses 1. You put a counter on each creature you control and gain 4 life, or you put a -1/-1 counter on each creature that opponent controls, and Misfortune deals 4 damage to him or her. Why would they ever choose that? Each creature that opponent controls. Target opponent chooses 1. You put a counter on each creature you control. Oh, okay. So they either buff up your creatures or they take a little bit of a loss to their creatures. They may not even have any creatures. May not even be there. Just falling into the mirror. I'm looking at this like she's in outer space. Seriously, like, here's the space. I don't know. She's on the moon or something. Can't explain why the mirror is there. I'm trying to create some backstory for the lore here. Did we do choice? I swear we did Choice of Damnations. Yeah, we did this one. Sand King. Okay, Serdan the Shipwright. Okay, blue-green, 3 generic for a 3/4 elf noble with vigilance. Secret Council. Whenever Serdan the Shipwright enters the battlefield or attacks, each player secretly votes for a player. Then those votes are revealed. Each player draws a card for each vote they received Each player who received no votes may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, good God. That's interesting. So everyone's secret. So someone either one person's going to get a lot of cards, and then everyone else gets to like show and tell something in play, or yeah, everyone gets sort of draw a card. Interesting card. Yeah, seize the spotlight. Was that a card you're talking about? Seize the spotlight. Oh, okay. 3 mana, sorcery. Each opponent chooses Fame or Fortune. For each player who chose Fame, gain control of a creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures and they gain haste until end of turn. Each player who chose Fortune, you draw a card and you create a treasure token. But why can't you have both? Is that not possible? Rated Lex. Fact or fiction, if already done. Sometimes that happens near the end of the show. Did we do... yeah, we did fact or fiction because I had trouble looking it up. Thank you so much, Rated Lex. Let's donate to Kevin with the mana cash. A lot of cash in that mana. We have a red 1 generic enchantment at the end of each player's turn. Put a charge counter on mana cash for each untapped land that player controls. Remove a charge counter from mana cash. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Any player may play this ability, but only during his or her turn before the end phase. So what, everyone gets to use this damn thing? End of turn, put a charge counter on it for each untapped land. So if you want to hold up mana, you put mana on here, and then everyone gets to use the mana around here. Pretty cool. Everyone gets mana. Group hug card time. The Wish Claw Talisman, nothing but cold. Great call. Wow, it would have been amazing if the show went on and then it didn't actually get to this card. Black 1, and it's legacy. It's like a huge legacy and modern card too. Black 1 generic artifact enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Pay 1, tap, remove a wish counter from Wish Claw Talisman. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library, and an opponent gains control of Wish Claw Talisman. Activate this ability only during your turn. So the deal is, in a one-on-one game, the player who plays Wish Claw Talisman will maybe get 2 cards, because they tutor, they give it to you, you'll tutor, you give it back to them, and they'll tutor 1 more time. But in Commander, you could just pass it around to, I guess, 3 people. 3 wishes! That's it. Someone not gonna get their wish today. How about... Hold on, I saw... who did I accidentally clicked on someone's card. Just looking back. No, I can't find them. Okay, let's do Toilet Ducks Undercity Plunder. This is not a real card. I'm considering all these alchemy cards BS cards. We have a black 1 generic sorcery. Target opponent discards a card. Then they may discard an additional card. If they don't, conjure a duplicate of a random card from their library. Oh my god, what is going on in this format? Into your hand. It perpetually gains. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast this spell. What a bizarre card. Imagine these are real cards in Magic the Gathering. Platonic Liquid. It's not legal or chosen by your opponent, but here's a dono to phone a friend. Dono to chat otherwise. Oh, hold on. Phone Is it a real card? This is like an unglued card? I knew it was an unglued card. Do you know how I knew? Because there are no phones in the multiverse. I don't know. How do they communicate in the multiverse? Do they send letters by bird? Alright, send this message to Jace, please. Okay, we have a blue 3 generic sorcery. Call someone and ask them to choose one. If they don't answer, an opponent chooses one. Oh my goodness. And the odds of them not answering are super... Who answers their phone anymore? I mean, I guess if it shows your friend... if it was my friend calling me, I guess I would answer. But if it's a number, I don't know who it... I never answer that thing anymore. A, gain control of target creature you don't control. B, choose target creature you control. Create 2 tokens that are copies of it. C, take an extra turn after this one. And D, draw 7 cards. Who gets to choose? Oh, I guess you choose. Sorry, I mean, who gets to choose who to call? I guess you get to choose. I mean, they got magic and stuff, yeah. Can they magically create some sort of, like, I don't know, visual portal to, like, stare at people in some sort of avatar form? Mad Cat with the Forbidden Love. Oh, sorry, Forbidden Lore. Oh, we got a green 2 generic. It's an aura. It enchants lands. Enchanted land has tap. Target creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. In theory, an opponent control this card, but actually, in actuality, it may not. So, I mean, if you give it to somebody, it would, but, like, there's no guarantee that that's actually going to happen at all. Kaladesh might eventually make fun. That's possible. I mean, maybe they got their own version of, like, Apple and Google down there. Maybe they, for all we know, Kaladesh has the internet. Wrong lore? What, is it? Oh, it's Forgotten Lore? Alright, we're on it. Was it my fault or their fault? Well, we'll just assume it's my fault. It's always my fault on this show. Okay, we got green sorcery. Target opponent chooses a card in your graveyard. You can pay a green. If you do, repeat this process, except that opponent can't choose a card already chosen for Forgotten Lore. Then put the last chosen card into your hand. Choose a card in your graveyard. That's interesting. So it's like Tassiger, but I'm like, I don't want that card. I pay a green. Nah, I don't want that card. Yeah, I'm going to pay another green. Nah, you know what? We're going to keep paying. We're going to keep paying. You know, okay, that's finally. That's something I can something more to my taste. It's your fault. Don't worry, you can just blame it on me anyway. It's easier that way. Okay, we got Mulk with the super chat with nothing. We got the Shades. Maybe it's a riddle as to what the card is, but we're gonna donate it to Tyler Bremer with Chain Lightning. A legacy card for a red. Sorcery. Chain Lightning deals 3 damage to any target. Then that player or that permanent's controller may pay double red. If they do, they may copy the spell, and you may choose a new target for the copy. I've actually never seen a Chain Lightning War. I know it's possible. It's actually a legacy playable card. The Delver decks play it. It's interesting. You have to play it when they're tapped out, or otherwise they could, like, kill your Delver. They could kill your Delver, your Dragon Rage Channeler, maybe your Murktide if you didn't delve anything with it. Interesting card. Octrox. Pain's Reward. No pain, no gain around here, right? Let the bidding begin. We have a black 2 generic sorcery. What's going on here? This is some sort of really aggressive acupuncture. You may bid any amount of life. In turn order, each player may top the high bid. The bidding ends if the high bid stands. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid and draws 4 cards. What? That doesn't even seem worth it at all. Well, I guess it's just a bid. Okay, I'll pay 10 life for 4 cards. No, I'll pay 12 life for 4 cards. I'll pay 14. I'll pay 15. I'll pay 16. Okay, I'll go to 17. Okay, screw it. You can have it for 17. Damn it. At some point, basically, it becomes a lose-lose. That's a lot of life. Anyway, it's a lot of. You can play Necropotence for 3 mana. Just spend 1 mana. Pay 1 life to get 1 card. Okay, what do we got next? We got Mario. Hold on. Do I have a Mario sound effect? I'll give you the Mario sound effect. Loxodon Peacekeeper. Nope, we didn't do the Loxodon. I've never heard of this card, to be honest. It's a white 1 generic 4/4 Elephant Soldier. At the beginning of your upkeep, the player with the lowest life total gains control of Loxodon Peacekeeper. Sounds like it's defending. It's not gonna be peaceful. It's not like he has Defender or anything. If 2 or more players are tied for the lowest life, you choose one of them, and that player gains control of the Peacekeeper. Interesting. Is there something? Is this real? Bitter. Sounds like another unglued card. Oops, Bitter Blossom. No, this is Binder Blossom. Bitter. No, doesn't exist. I thought this was a real card. It sounds like it could be a real card. Okay, Toads is like, someone say a crone horse. Well, guess what? You said it. That's good enough for me. 4 mana, 0/4 defender. Enters the battlefield. An opponent gains control. They can just directly take it for themselves. And at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. In danger! To the person who has it. It was all a ruse. It was the Trojan horse all along. Okay, King Ginger. Kumbaya Witches. Or Kumbaya Witches. I don't know. Okay, I'm naming these witches Kumbaya Witches. Oops, I didn't spell it right. Kumbaya. Black, 1/3 human wizard. Tap. Deals 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to any target and an opponent's choice. We all get, an opponent. So you get to choose the opponent and they get to choose what they snipe for themselves. I hope it was a good pun. Oh, let's end it on this one. Trade Secrets. Which is banned in Commander. But truth be told, it absolutely is controlled by your opponent in some way. Target opponent draws 2 cards. Then you can draw up to 4 cards. That opponent may repeat this process as many times as he or she chooses. Have all the cards you want. To basically die on your own cards. Alright, that's it, people. That's it for Coffee and MTG today. Thank you very much for showing up. There was a lot of unique cards I've never heard of. I think I read more new cards this show than any show ever before. And if you want to learn about new cards and also be part of the show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show, either a patron or on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to contribute and also to be part of the show. Thank you very much. And of course, we got to thank everyone who's here in the morning. Oh, like Blue Bomber with the Ice Cave. You sneaking that thing in there? What do you want, a delay or something? The Ice Cave, blue 3 generic. Whenever an enchantment, whenever a player plays a spell, any other player may pay that spell's mana cost. Oh my god, to counter it? Good god. It's the ultimate counter spell. Whenever a player plays a spell, any other player. So they also can try to counter your stuff too. They can also try to counter your stuff too. So thank you everyone for showing up. People like Steve Cooper and Tyler, Christopher B, Jess. We got Platonic Liquid, Mario, Avatar, Whoa, Mr. Deadhead, Silver, Sun, Games, King Ginger. We got some Bulky, Feedy Fox, Toads. Because as usual, my coffee crew, you guys are the ones that make the show the show. So keep brewing up them coffees and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves and I will see you at the next